I was asked. It's essentially for
Alright,
only
can
the
someone
people's
unlock
eyes
this
who are
door?
on that
I seem to be
first or second
Yeah,
page
yeah.
here.
Okay.
You'll see it says you can disseminate it as you need to those you believe need it. The only thing they want to keep is around me here. The only thing they want to keep under wraps is the very last page there. For the people who are on the second page.
Let me reach out to Taylor to make sure there's nothing else you need. If there is, I'll get it added on to Seth. Don't worry about it.
Ha! Wait, they didn't change director yet. Weren't we told these stepped down, or am I tripping? But this is cool.
Pretty much, yeah, exactly. We place the orders to oversee shit. No, it's not.
Wait, there was black and now it's green.
Love that. Love that. I know we've been trying to buy one for, we could manage for like 6 months. It feels like. I know. That's the crazy part. They don't open them, but they take care. I know. Well, the problem is a lot of these people took out leases for like 1 year, and then they stopped opening after like 1 week. I agree. I agree. Yeah, honestly.
Wait!
I hear some knocking. I'll be right back.
Okay.
That gives you a little bit of a rundown as to what's going on. I think Max will give you a better rundown as to the actual events that took place, but essentially, a couple of officers got infected. Well, marshal, an officer, a couple civilians. I believe in total of 6 was what I heard.
Hmm.
Initially, thank you. We initially got. We're told it was contagious by contact. Another one said it was contagious by, it's airborne. Seemed like there's a lot of uncertainty at the time. Now they're saying it goes dormant and is no longer contagious after you initially get it.
Interesting. Okay.
A lot of misinformation out there right now. So more or less, trying to get officers to take their precautions, some sort of face covering of some sort.
That's a Nino.
It's not going to stop it, but maybe it'll have a chance to, contain it in some way, shape, or form. Gloves if possible. And if you come into direct contact with somebody who's infected, to put on a complete hazmat suit, essentially. It was a bit of a struggle at first, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of hysteria. People were on Twitter. People were talking. They saw what was going on at the hospital. It's a bit of a mess, is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, from and Reddit is good to read this, right? I think that's reasonable.
Well, they asked that it was only people named on the document to actually read it, but
Okay.
we can
As
disseminate
thank
that
you for 5
information
months.
to who we need to. So
Everything
but that last page they asked for.
I was around the night that it kind of happened and everything. I had some experience with it, so I mean, if I don't need to read the document, I still am abreast of what's going on.
So, oh, the timer isn't going up. 1 second, check. Give me just 1 sec. Sorry, it should be now. Hold on 1 second. Let me just correct this. I got you, chat. Let me just go ahead and do this. This is probably close enough. I got you. There you go. There you go, babies. So I'm just gonna give kind of my initial thoughts. I don't take this for more than just that, right? I'm just processing this in real time. There was something called the black goo about 7 weeks back, stemming from the humane labs. My office was made aware of that from people from the city giving me a call and making me aware of it. As a consequence, the LSPD responded to it. It was the only agency that did respond to it initially for a good hour and a half, while it was ignored by other departments until things started spreading into the city. That's where the SEMA Act came into play. During that black goo situation, there was a number of scientists inside whom were apparently had been working on this thing, which ultimately resulted in it leaking out. That black goo stuff has kind of like come and gone, or had come and gone weeks following it. Likely in relation to the death of a doctor who was actively trying to understand what the makeup of it was, and there was some cases of that happening. Now, once again, this was about 7 months back, maybe 6 months back. The reason I even notate this is because it's been something that I've been suspiciously pointing at and letting individuals know, but the response I continue to get is, well, it's unrelated. But I don't know how you can make that assertion, right, without something factual backing it. And the reason I mention this is because a lot of this activity around sicknesses continue pointing back at the humane labs. And this is like a publicly known thing, mind you, not necessarily regards to this plague, but just the sicknesses that have been popping up, right? It's something that's actively in conversation around the city. And it's odd that this is like a green, what do they call it? Green goop or something?
That's what I was going to ask you, is the green.
Yeah, it's just, it like hits the nose so closely, Green
sludge.
Yeah, sludge, like black goo, green sludge. Like, I'm sorry, but like sludges aren't exactly and goos aren't exactly like a typical sort of thing to worry about.
I have a feeling this is different, right? Because they're saying this is highly contagious, this unknown substance, things like that.
That's exactly what the black goo was. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like this is. Sorry.
What came from the black goo? What was the
nothing? It was
symptoms,
honestly, it was ignored. LSPD tried to dig into it, but it was pretty much ignored. All
right.
Yeah. So I'm only bringing that up to your attention in the event that becomes useful, because those who may have known about the black glue may know have some information that could be useful to this, right?
Okay, I can relay that. I hope Maxwell clears up here shortly. I know Maxwell and I believe Aaron are going to be our points of contact with the marshals for this investigation.
Mm.
It's going to be a joint investigation. BCSO was doing their investigation. We were doing our investigation. Instead of everybody kind of doing their own investigations, I pushed for, actually I should say the sheriff pushed for us to join forces and go looking for this, and I'm on board for that because everybody was kind of just overlapping each other's investigations here. So instead of keeping information in any way, shape, or form, we're all going to work together, and the marshals will be running this investigation, and we'll be assisting with it.
Okay, makes sense. In regards to the other thing is, I did ask them to put out some sort of notice to the public, which I still think is, I'm going to push for that again today. You know, I
that
understand
was quite the subject yesterday. People were worried that putting out a notice would create some sort of panic, but at the same time, also make people more interested in going down to the lighthouse and going into the sewers. And so I believe the notice that was put out was something like, make sure you wash your hands, wear a mask, things like that.
Okay, so there was a notice that was put out.
There was one?
Well, it sounded like there was about washing hands. Was there any notice put out?
Washing hands, yes. Washing hands and wearing a mask. Something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, it's
not to create hysteria of some sort.
Yeah, it's always a tough one. Yeah, I think
you bring attention to it, but sometimes it's the wrong attention.
I feel like mentioning that there's like an illness, right? Unknown source being looked into, and that for precautionary, this is what you should do. And if certain things crop up, they are to notify law enforcement, and you attach money to it. You know what I mean?
Right. In terms of notification, I was telling the sheriff, I think that's up to the mayor's office and the medical staff to decide if that's something that needs to be done. In terms of the investigation, that's where we'll take place. But I think it's more so on the medical staff and mayor's office to make that decision. So
yeah,
we'll support whatever does happen.
All right, easy. Yep. Well, it sounds like things are at least under control for the time being.
Seems like it, yeah. Just a lot of uncertainty right now, in terms of how contagious it is and how it's transmitted is the important thing to figure out. So we just got to support, doctors, scientists, whoever's looking into this any way we can to try to get more information on it.
All right. Beautiful. I brought up the Right to Property Act at the meeting today.
Must have missed that part. I was out talking with Maxwell for a bit.
Yeah, it went pretty good. I think people understood the purpose behind it. It's still up for contention because now the state's got to review it. I don't fundamentally know why. At least not based on the text response I got from the DOJ.
A normal route legislation takes?
It's not. I think it's I don't have anything good to say about it. I mean, the response is hold on. It states the legislation will be presented to the state as in the past defining and limiting parts of the Constitution has been deemed unconstitutional. That's not only
read that.
Yeah, it's not only fundamentally incorrect, but it's fundamentally what legislation is. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do what I can on that respect to kind of business as usual until we figure out what the hell's going on. But other than that, yeah, Court Center is going to be open. It should be open now. So if you want to, any officers want that 30% off if they bring the LSPD badge over, then get some good cop pots.
I'm gonna be honest.
On the cheap.
I've been looking over that website almost every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything new show up for cars. You all have new stock coming in?
We do. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Mine hasn't. I've been actively watching it. Actually.
You mean like engines and stuff?
No, I mean like performance parts. You know, stage 3, 4, 5s, 4 and 5s on most parts.
Well, I mean everything
Pretty much
is.
just go fast.
You mean the numbers are going up and down, or?
No, I mean the stock. There isn't any of it on the website.
It all looks in stock to me.
Yeah, I'm able to see it under the market section, sir.
If I go market, car upgrades.
Yeah.
And I look up, oh, I see. It's just, I look up, say, brake package. I only see stage 1, stage 2. I'm not sure what the flow of parts are.
Yeah,
I'm
they
still
may
getting
not
a
be
feel for that.
categorized. Don't do. Hold on one second. Don't do car upgrades. Type out stage 5.
Okay, I see stage 3 showing up now. They weren't under our upgrades. Okay.
Yeah, they may not be under the proper subcategory.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are 18. All right.
It looks like 4s and 5s are very scarce right now. Last I heard, car upgrade pots have become extremely scarce. So
Really? Okay.
yeah.
Especially about the higher end brakes. I was talking to Bruce Baylor, and he was saying that 4 and 5 brakes are like unicorns and generally are 80K plus, and that's a low end. I've heard him say that 4 and 5 brakes can be 100K plus even sometimes. So
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, a bit more showing up now. Looking through it that way. Okay.
Yeah. We can that's one
Fair enough.
good thing
That's
about our
always
inventory. We're always seeking this stuff, so if you see that there's more of something, it's a pretty good indicator of what's out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll keep an eye on it.
Easy.
I know we're always looking for parts for our cars.
Easy.
It's a massive undertaking to try to keep all these vehicles
Yeah, one thing that I
upgraded.
really wanted to I encouraged in the past was if y'all had like even 5 cars that were like fully kitted out, that would be, be it CVPI, Taurus, whatever. It's probably easier to hyper dump money into that handful rather than having everyone only focus on their personal vehicles, because
I'd prefer that. I'd prefer, to have the shared vehicles, ones that everyone can pull out, for every type of class, for CVPIs, Tauruses, Premiers, Interceptors of every type. I'd prefer to have, 2 to 4 of each. Just be, decked out. But getting those parts is damn near impossible as is. I've been working with Peters these last few days on looking at parts. That stuff is very far and in between and extremely expensive.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's kind of why, I think instead of every officer feeling like they have to self-upgrade, because there's just not enough supply out there, right, between civilians and officers. So it's like concentrating it on a handful just kind of seems to make sense. I will say that I am actively working to see if I can get some of that stuff into the hands of manufacturers, maybe even the Quartz Center, where we can start pumping some out at some rate.
Be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Also looking to start importing in jump boots and all these other things. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you guys can get that jump unit back up and going.
Yeah, nobody seems to know about it. It seems to be a pretty small unit. You said it was a Jump Out Boys, right?
The Jump Out Boys, I think it was Forte and Jimbo, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll go direct with Forte on that, see what that's all about.
Yeah. I know Jimbo for sure. I think Forte was the LSPD guy. Yeah. It was but that's assuming there even are jump boots out in the wild.
I have yet to see anything like what people have described to me, but
I haven't seen it in 2 months. Maybe even 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, easy. All right. Well, if you guys need me, just give me a ring and thing.
We'll do.
Sounds good.
SEMA tents. We're being told they're set up also over at Fort Zancudo. Is that you're doing as well?
I set up the SEMA Act back during the Black Goo. I was told I was crazy, but I always like to put things out in advance. So yeah, SEMA Act can be used anytime by the LSPD. In the event you know that there's an outbreak, you have the full capability to set them up in order to concentrate medical and keep it's a way to keep people away from the general population, right?
Does the state of emergency need to be declared first?
I have to remember. Yes, it does.
Okay.
That's one thing that we got to work on, because right now only the DOJ can do a state of emergency, and that's something that I want to work to
That's not
alter.
something you can even declare.
Yeah, it's look, there's a lot of weird politics happening. There's
Fair enough.
I think that at a county level, it's reasonable for I may actually enact something like that because we need a means by which to, I don't know. We'll see where that goes.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Just keep me in the loop when things do
Easy.
change.
Absolutely.
I'm sure I'll see them.
Yep. We'll do. We have some other legislation that's going to be popping up soon, and I'll let you know. Nothing that like really affects law enforcement. We're probably going to be buying up Frank's, the hot dog stand, and subsidizing that out. So we have like another like full-time restaurant. You guys are more than open to utilizing that place for like if you want to send people off duty or whatever creative thing you guys come up with. But the idea is that we can do things, we can use it as a location to do other stuff. Instead of just one crew running an operation, this can be utilized by the entire county. So
Okay.
So
all right, we gotta go.
All right. Y'all stay safe.
Count 3. Yep, let's go.
Yeah, I got my car.
Public thing, but like we can't know.